Democrat Adam Schiff says we can't trust the voters to decide the 2020 election. Elizabeth Warren gets lectured over her plans to pay off student loan debt, and Chuck Schumer makes a ghost get out of his Senate chair. All that and more. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-minute news hour.
And God bless the United States of America.
All right, friends, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. I hope you're having a great week. This has been a busy one. There's been a lot of politics, and I want to jump right in, and I want to start with Elizabeth Warren, actually, because she's not a Bernie Sanders. She's not full-on socialist as he is, but she's pretty close. She advocates Medicare for all. She advocates free tuition. She has her plan to eliminate student loan debt, okay? But we all know that nothing on the Democrat side and on the left actually gets eliminated. That means it's paid for by someone else. It's paid for by you and me. It's paid for by the taxpayers. That's how you eliminate student loan debt. But my question is, what about the people that actually paid for college? What if they didn't get loans? What about those people who saved? You know, if maybe the student worked a part-time job, went to school a semester, worked a semester. That's mostly what I did in college. Each semester of working, I paid for the next semester of school. What about them? What about parents who save so that their kids can go to school, they pay it off, and there's no student loan debt? What about them? Well, that question was put to Elizabeth Warren recently at one of her speeches, one of her campaign events, and here's how it went.
My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loan. Am I going to get my money back?
So the guy asked Elizabeth Warren a basic question. He says, my daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money so she doesn't have any student debt. Am I going to get my money back? So what do you think Elizabeth Warren's reply is? Check this out.
My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loan. Am I going to get my money back? Of course not.
Of course not. That's what she says. Of course not. And I mean, what kind of reply is that to a person who's worked hard so they don't have to go into debt? This isn't some rich guy. This is a guy who saved. And she says, of course not. Like it's no big deal. So here's a follow-up from the Daily Caller. So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, but those of us who did the right thing get screwed, the man asked. The man mentioned that he worked a double shift to pay for his daughter's education and accused Warren of mocking his life story. You're laughing at me, the man said. Warren denied that she was laughing, but the dad was not buying the explanation. That's exactly what you're doing, he said. We did the right thing and we get screwed. So according to her plan, to pay off student loan debt, there'd be a new tax on the ultra rich. Well, the thing is that payment, that tax, doesn't just affect the ultra rich. It affects people like this guy because he has to pay, and others who didn't pay, who just got loans to pay later, all of a sudden they don't have to pay him at all on her plan. So he gets it too. He pays. Working people who saved pay under her plan, not just the ultra rich. So next I want to talk about impeachment, all right? Because now the Senate trial is in full bore. You know, we've had 3 days of testimony, and it's just nonsensical, okay? Whatever political capital the Democrats thought they had, which was none, it's beyond zero now. It's negative. It's full-on negative because the more they speak, the more they turn off not only the audience they're trying to influence, but the American people in general. Adam Schiff got out there and he said that you can't trust the 2020 election to the voters. That's what he said. Check out this clip.
The president's misconduct cannot be decided at the ballot box, for we cannot be assured that the vote will be fairly won.
So what is that? This is the United States of America, and Adam Schiff says that we can't trust the 2020 election to the voters. And see, this has been the angle the whole time. Ever since President Trump got elected, they've been out to overturn the election. Whether it's spying on his campaign, whether it's the Mueller investigation and Russia collusion. Now it's this bogus Ukraine phone call that they just kept steamrolling to a full-blown impeachment, and now we have a Senate trial. They are trying to overturn an election because they think they know best. And wow, the last thing we want to do is leave it up to the voters? How outrageous is that? So that's Adam Schiff. Then we have Jerry Nadler, Democrat from the House, that's taking heat as well. And he's doing it for comments that really turned off the moderate Republicans in the Senate, the ones that he's trying to win over by saying that any person who votes to acquit President Trump in these proceedings is guilty of a cover-up. And that didn't go over well at all. And here's a report from Fox News. The first sign of a backlash among the critical group came Wednesday when Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, a moderate member of the conference, said she was offended by House Manager Jerry Nadler's assertion that GOP members voting against allowing new testimony and evidence were engaged in a cover-up. I took it as offensive, she told reporters. As one who is listening attentively and working hard to get to a fair process, I was offended. Nadler's opening statement, which led U.S. Chief Justice John Roberts admonishing those in the chamber, accused Republican senators of voting for a cover-up, voting to deny witnesses, an absolutely indefensible vote, obviously a treacherous vote. So that's a great start from Jerry Nadler. He makes the Chief Justice speak out against him because the wording was so outrageous, and then he's losing the moderates in the process. And here's more. Murkowski's complaint about Nadler's remarks is particularly noteworthy as she is among the small group of Republican senators seen as a possible swing vote on impeachment and a possible supporter of allowing more witness testimony later on in the trial. But Murkowski is not alone. Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri on Wednesday said Democrats took a huge step backwards in their opening. I mean, that's an extraordinary thing to say on the floor of the United States Senate, the middle of the trial, and that's what drew the rebuke, and rightly so, Hawley told reporters. I can tell you, there was an open gasping on the Senate floor when Nadler was saying these things. I mean, it's really, really extraordinary. So again, the more the Democrats speak, the more they get themselves into trouble. The more they open their mouths and push this impeachment agenda, the more they lose the American public. Trump's not worried about this. He doesn't care. He knows it's bogus. People who follow the story, follow the line by line, the timeline, the details, they know it's bogus too. But the Democrats are trying to do an end around the election process and get Trump removed on their own. It's not working, and they look more desperate the farther they go along. It's just the craziest thing. So now I want to move from them to President Trump, who I just mentioned, because we have something historic this week, and I just have to talk about it. First of all, Wednesday was the 47th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade decision. I talked about that on the show. Now we're coming up to the annual March for Life, and President Trump takes an exclusive piece of history by being the first sitting president to participate live in the event. He is joining the event. He will be there firsthand to participate. And it is just a great moment, not only for the March for Life, but the entire pro-life movement. Here's a report from Life News. President Donald Trump will address the March for Life on Friday in live remarks to hundreds of thousands of pro-life people attending the event from across the country. He will be the first president ever to attend the March for Life in person, having addressed the march via video previously. March for Life officials told Life News they were delighted President Trump is demonstrating his commitment to pro-life values by appearing in person, joining 500,000 or more Americans demonstrating their resolve to ending abortion. Gene Mancini, president of March for Life, told Life News, "We are deeply honored to welcome President Trump to the 47th annual March for Life. He will be the first president in history to attend, and we are so excited for him to experience in person how passionate our marchers are about life and protecting the unborn." President Trump kind of kicked off the excitement on Wednesday by tweeting this. He said simply, "See you on Friday, big crowd." So, again, this is such good news for the president to be so strong on this issue from the get-go. He said he was. People didn't know his political background that well coming from business. He wasn't a grassroots type of political guy where you know their stances the whole time and you can say, oh yeah, he's one of us. He's strong on this issue. We didn't really know, but he has lived up to it time and time again. And this is how President Mancini of the March for Life described it. From the appointment of pro-life judges and federal workers, to cutting taxpayer funding for abortions here and abroad, to calling for an end to late-term abortions, President Trump and his administration have been consistent champions for life, and their support for the March for Life has been unwavering. We are grateful for all these pro-life accomplishments and look forward to gaining more victories for life in the future, she said. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I know it's going to be huge. We have hundreds of thousands of people marching in Washington, and we'll see what the news coverage is on that. I bet you it's little to none. So finally, I want to wrap up with a segment that's a Friday staple. It's been gone for a little bit because we've had so much crazy impeachment news and left-wingers going nuts and everything like that. We had to cover it, but it's back, and that is, do you have a relaxed brain?
I got what you call, I don't know, a relaxed brain.
All right, we're going to get started with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because, as you know, she gave an interview on MLK Day, and it was just a gold mine. It was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for relaxed brain comments, one after another. We covered some earlier this week on the previous shows about the billionaires, how they are just morally bad. They take money and they're just bad guys. Well, here's another one. This one is talking about the Democrat Party and how they're not a left-leaning party. Check this out.
I wanted to go back to what you said about our left party. We don't have a left party in the United States. The Democratic Party is not a left party. The Democratic Party is a center or center conservative party.
What? Let's just go over the list. Okay, we've got Medicare for all. We've got free tuition for all. We've got this college loan forgiveness. We've got Green New Deal. We've got open borders. All right. Remember at the beginning of the Democrat debates when there was the big field and they asked raise their hand on various issues. These aren't this is Democrats running for president, and they were espousing all of these views. And she says that the Democrats are a center to center conservative party. How far left is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez if that's what she believes? It's outrageous. And so, again, that was just one clip, very relaxed brain. But here's something else she said. It was pointed out in an awesome op-ed in the Washington Examiner, and it just sums up that she doesn't know what she's saying, okay? Because we covered in a previous show that she's taking heat for not paying her dues to the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, the DCCC. They are in charge of getting Democrats elected each cycle in the House. She doesn't want to pay those dues. She doesn't want to pay the $100,000+. She wants to keep that, and she has kept it, and use other fundraising to fund Democrats on her own, the ones she feels best. Some even are taking on Democrat incumbents. She's primarying these people using her own money. Well, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like an advocate for right-to-work laws, okay? These people want to do a job, and they're forced to join a union. They're forced to pay union dues, and those dues are used to promote policies or activities that they don't want, or endorsements that they don't believe in. They don't want to participate in those. Right-to-work law says you don't have to pay those. You can work your job. You don't have to be forced to pay those dues. And look what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is saying. I'm a Democrat. I'm a member of the DCCC, their union. I don't want to pay those dues. I want to use them how I see fit. So my thought is, whether she realizes or not, she's our new spokesperson for national right-to-work laws. Very good. Very good, AOC. And now I want to end with Chuck Schumer, because what is going on with this guy? I don't know if you saw this clip, but he's going during the impeachment. He's walking into the Senate chamber, says hi to his buddy, and then has a little brief conversation with a ghost to get out of his chair. It's the strangest thing. Check this out. All right, so there he goes. He's walking up, talks to his buddy, says, hey, what's up? And then turns around here. Hey, ghost, get out of there. And then sits down. It's the strangest thing. I mean, what is that? He says, these people are losing it. They are absolutely losing it. Let's check this out again. There he goes, walking on up. Hey, man, what's up? Okay, I'm going to go sit down. I'll see you later. Oh, dude, get out of here. Yeah, there you go. And he goes to sit down. Folks, that's weird stuff right there. That's relaxed brain. That's the Democrats in action. We could have gone on and on, but we've run out of time, and we'll definitely do more next Friday. So, folks, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and when you do, please hit that bell so you'll be notified, and we'll see you next time. I'm Bobby Eberle. This is a 13-Minute News Hour. Okay, friends, just a little reminder before you go, and no, this does not count against my 13 minutes. Please hit the subscribe button below and tell your friends. And if you happen to miss our last show, you can check it out right here. And also for great conservative news and commentary, please check out GOPUSA.com. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next show. Have a great day.